So Ramadan is the ninth month in the lunar calendar year of the Islamic calendar. Muslims fast because they reflect on themselves in terms of their self-puration and focusing on their past sins and how to move forward in bettering themselves. Muslims tend to focus more on their prayers during Ramadan, and they obviously follow the tradition of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him.
A typical day of fasting looks like from sunrise to sunset. It will involve me waking up in the morning for suhoor, and that's a term used to describe the meal you eat before you start fasting. And after suhoor, I'll complete the first prayer of the day, which is Fajr. And then depending on whatever you have for the day, normally for me, I'll have work. So I'll go to work and do my daily duties, but during work, I'll be completing some of the prayers. When I complete those prayers, the time will come when it's sunset, and that'll be Maghrib, and that's the time that we all break our fast. After breaking our fast and eating and just relaxing a little bit, I'll go to the mosque for Taraweeh prayer, and we describe it as a long prayer that you do with everyone in the mosque, and you do your last prayer, and that just involves, that's a long prayer that you do. So that'll be a typical day of fasting. I could also say, as you know, we don't drink and we don't eat. So during that day, we'll normally, read the Quran. Is really encouraged to read a lot of Quran, watch Islamic sermons, read a lot of books, and just be kind, caring, and generous to those around you.
So Ramadan is a month of expressing the blessings that we have in our life. So for me, it gives me the opportunity to reflect on myself spiritually, mentally, and physically, and also to see how I can better myself in terms of my prayers, the reading of the Quran. And Ramadan also allows me to just cut out all the negative thoughts and the stress and worry that happens in our life. So it's really just me focusing on myself, prayers, and the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his book. So it's an amazing feeling for me.
Ramadan is a month of reflection, a month of gratitude, a month of praying and kind of getting out your spiritual side. It's a month where I feel in this world we get so distracted with our daily stresses, with so many things happening in our lives, from work to lifestyle to stresses to family. It's a time to sit down and basically, pray, ask for forgiveness, and reflect on all the good and the bad that you've done.
Ramadan to me is a time where I get to be the best kind of person that I can be. It allows me to kind of reflect a lot on my thoughts, my body, my just everything in my life. And it's a time that I can strive to be the best person that I can be, both with my religion, but also my own self as well. It's a time where I try to, not take things too seriously, and there's lots of things that come into it. So it's a time where you shouldn't argue a lot. It's a time where you should be very calm within yourself, and it's a good way to kind of practice that, even that for that 1 month, because it can be difficult over the whole year or for the rest of your life. But to be able to dedicate 1 month to just try and be the best person that you can be, I think that's kind of what Ramadan means to me.
That Ramadan is not actually as difficult as people think it is. It's a very spiritual month. If we don't eat or drink, doesn't mean we're starving ourselves. It just means that we are feeling what the people who cannot afford what we have. It's not their choice that they don't have it, but obviously it makes us feel what we have and makes us value what we have that they can't afford to have.
I think I wish other people knew that it's not a month where we're perfect. It's a month where we're trying to be the best that we can be. And I think because a lot of people hear, this is the time where you're not supposed to be doing any of these things and you're not supposed to sin, it's like that's not what it is. It's a month where we're trying to be the best we can be, but not trying to be perfect. So a lot of the times you'll see a lot of people kind of judge other Muslims for certain experiences that they're going through, especially in Ramadan, because it's such a holy month and we're supposed to be perfect. But I think people need to understand, and it's a big misconception, that it's not about being perfect. It's more about being the best that you can be, and that looks different for everyone.
To be fair, Ramadan gets a side of you that not many people tend to bring out. It's a side of you where you fight and you strive to be your best in helping others, in being charitable, in following your religion and your fasting, as well as your 5 times a day prayers, and basically striving to be a better person. My favorite part of Ramadan is kind of reunions, family reunions, spending time with your loved ones.
First, it's where the whole family as well comes together. Second of all, that night of power, which for me personally, I spent the whole day in the mosque, in the mosque, praying and asking for forgiveness. And, I know that within these days, any prayers will be answered.
I think my favourite part about Ramadan is being around my friends and family. I have a lot of different friends, especially on campus, who aren't with their family, and then I'm lucky enough to live here, so all of my family are here. But it's really nice to kind of have the different dynamics. So I'll spend a lot of nights with my family at home, then I'll spend a lot of nights at the mosque with all my friends that sometimes I only get to see once a year, just because of circumstances, but also spend a few nights here with some of my friends, just the dynamic of knowing a lot of people that are part of your religion, that are doing the same thing that you're doing.
My favorite part of Ramadan is the Tariq prayers, and this is the prayer that you do at the night. It's my favorite prayer and favorite time of Ramadan because everyone comes together to pray, to worship, and it's just nice to be in a very warming environment when everyone can call out to Allah and just be very, very peaceful.